it is right now the best time in human history to not know what it is you want to do with your life. Well, good everybody. Thank you, Hillary. Thank you for having me here today. Right now is the best time in human history to not know what you want to do with your life. It's probably a bit complex, I'll say it again. It is right now the best time in human history to not know what it is you want to do with your life. I am jealous of you right now that you are living in this age of the internet and phones. I'm going to talk about what I would be doing if I was right now in your position, trying to figure out what you want to do with your life, because I think you have amazing opportunities. I'm excited just even thinking about it, and you guys, I hope, are going to be pumped at the end of this bit of a presentation. And I think a lot of this isn't just going to fall into your hands. This is about you wanting to follow a passion, something you care about. And I know today we're talking about the environment, and that's my passion. But a lot of you probably don't have that passion in the environment. This is about you finding what is that thing that you really love and you want to follow. And I'm saying you can make money out of it. You can become an entrepreneur. You can create a career just by creating content and using your phone, which I'll unpack in a second, to create your own future. To me, that is just super exciting. And it is all based around your phone. Does everyone have a phone? Everyone's got a laptop or a tablet or access to. And you have access to the internet. And you guys probably follow people on Facebook, on Instagram and Snapchat who are doing everything you should be doing to set yourselves up for life, to live the life you want to, doing the thing you really care about and are passionate about. And how do you do that? It's through putting your phone like this. And I did this morning for my social media on the beach, on Instagram. I clicked go live and I started saying stuff. And that went to people who care about the stuff I care about. And by doing that over and over again, or creating blogs, or doing podcasts, it creates attention from the people that you want to influence, that you want to either pay you money to give them a service or to advertise their shoes or whatever it is. And it is purely by you just creating that content and talking about the thing you love. I just can't believe how amazing this opportunity is for you guys. And why do I say it's the best time in human history? Well, you think about where we are. We've got this thing called the internet. I used to have to do dial-up internet, which you probably haven't even heard of. And I live pre-internet as well. I'm 35, I'm nearly dead. But you guys are living, you've had it your whole life. This internet thing is amazing. You can connect to anybody, anywhere, anytime. Unheard of, ever in human history. There are no gatekeepers now between you and the people you want to influence or the people you want to get to. If you want to contact, I'm trying to think of someone famous off the top of my head, I can't. Anybody you want to influence, you can get onto their Instagram account and you can send them a direct message. It's just ridiculous how easy it is for you to connect to people that you need to follow your dream. We're a very rich country. We are doing very well. There's people around you who can support you financially or in whatever way you need to. So you're in a great place in terms of geography. And again, you have a phone which can access the world. So how do you do this? It is purely around, I'll go into details about how I do it, but this is purely around documenting your life, documenting your journey, documenting the thing you care about. This is not about you being an expert. You do not have to be an expert in algae, in education, in Pokemon. You don't have to be the expert. You just need to document your journey of learning about that topic and sharing your lessons and sharing what you care about. And through that, doors open to get the attention that you want to live the life you want to live. Why listen to me? It's because I'm living proof of it. So I've got a few followers on social media, not many. It's a pretty niche sort of area what I care about in terms of the environment and also agriculture. I've got a few thousand followers, but through that I now have a sustainable income and I'm building businesses that are going to set me up for life, and I'm going to impact thousands of people, hopefully millions of people with my career. And it's purely because I turn that phone on, put it on Facebook Live, and I say stuff. And that's again just I'm going to reiterate all this time because I think this stuff is so amazing. So if I've got to focus on the environment, but it doesn't matter what your passion is. This idea applies to anything you care about. And I encourage you as I go through today, keep thinking about the things that you really care about and you want to follow. You don't have to go and get the average job anymore or follow what your parents did anymore. You don't have to You can go to university, it's a great thing to do. You don't have to follow that course of just going to university, getting a job, working for somebody. You can create your own future. You should be creating your own, in a way, you're creating your own online resume through this content you'll create. So that somebody who sees you is going to see this guy, this girl has been working for years creating content about cattle, and I know they love it and they're passionate, and I want to employ them, or I want to get them on as an online influencer to help sell my stuff. So yeah, I just want to encourage you to keep thinking about what it is you care about, and start thinking about how you could actually turn that into your life, which I think is so empowering. So I'll talk about what I do now, my history. I'm going to talk about my alternate history if I was you right now with the same passions that I've got, and then some practical steps around how you can follow your dream yourself. So I started a couple of social enterprises, I guess you call them, with a focus on the environment. One is called Edge Pledge, which Hillary talked about. So this is a wildlife fundraising platform. So I worked for government for 12 years in environmental policy in Melbourne, and that's how I thought I was going to make a difference. Is that you work for government, that's how you're going to make a difference to the environment. And I was sitting there writing the Victorian Threatened Species strategy that never got released. And I don't know if you know about being motivated by anything, but writing a document for a year or so and never ever seeing it get published is a great motivational killer. And I'm sitting there writing it going, what we're doing as a society is waiting for government to find the money to solve all of our problems, and the environment is one of them. And I was frustrated with that. I'm thinking, where's our alternate sources of money? We need money. There's people out there every day working on the environment, and they need money. They're waiting on government. Government doesn't have enough. There's something broken here. So in one of these meetings with the government, I said one day, where's the Movember for the environment? And everyone laughed at me, and I had one of those montage moments where I'd mapped out how I was going to save the world by starting the equivalent of what we think is the equivalent of Movember for the environment. So it's a fundraising platform where we get people to do challenges. So you pick 3 challenges, your friends then vote with their money to decide which one you ultimately end up doing. And we've raised about $60,000 over the last year or so, which is great, and we've got a piece of ambitions to go even further. But again, the way we started this business is purely by creating content online, creating a website, which I'm assuming every one of you could create a website in a couple of hours. Again, the capacity to do these things is just unlimited. And now my focus is around how do we use Edge Pledge to generate other ideas and other businesses that can generate that income for the environment to really make a difference. So the other business I've started is called Cultivate Farms, and this is anyone here who wants to be a farmer. I'm telling you, you can, and you probably should. It's a really cool thing to do. But to be a farmer, it costs millions of dollars. There's other ways of doing it, but the average farmer is a couple of $1 million, and unless you are filthy rich right now, the possibilities, or you're going to inherit the farm, the ability for you to buy a farm and become a farmer is pretty limited. So most people cross farming off the list, which we think is terrible, and we think it's one of the reasons why regional communities are struggling to retain young people. So we've created what we didn't realise we were creating, in that we didn't want to go out there and create the Tinder for farming, but in a way that's what we've done. We've created eFarmony. It's all about matchmaking aspiring farmers with people who have the money or people who have the land. And we, again, just got out there. I remember creating a Facebook page around this idea, and I was so nervous creating a Facebook page, and now I'm on it posting 4 or 5 times a day. But again, through creating content, we're just saying, hey, we think it's terrible that young people can't own a farm. That's not good enough. We're going to find a solution. And we just documented our journey of trying to figure out how do you make it possible for a young person to own a farm. And 3 years later, we've matched young people with investors. We're matching retiring farmers with young farmers. There's one guy who's going to own a $10 million farm in 10 years, just through matching, just through relationships. And this again all comes back to this thing in your hand called a phone, called Facebook, called Snapchat, and the ability for you to get attention to the thing you want to is absolutely there. And then through these 2 businesses that I've started, it opened doors to this whole new world of investment, which I've never known in the environmental sector. So again, the backstory is people relying on government to hand out money to support the environment. There actually are wealthy people and even mum and dad investors out there who would invest into businesses and ideas that will do good for the environment. And all they need is the opportunity to put that money into good projects. So through starting Edge Pledge and Cultivate Farms, it's opened this world of impact investors is what they're called, people who want to invest to do good. And now I'm working with these investors to work through similar businesses to Cultivate Farms and Edge Pledge to support these environmentally focused businesses to make more money, to save the world. So my vision, I guess, and I've been trying to figure out what that is for a number of years, but I'd love to be able to influence every single landholder in Australia to look after the environment, and that's public landholders as well as private landholders. And I really do think I've got a really good shot at being able to do that. So my history, I grew up on a dairy farm in central Victoria in a town called Dingy, which I'm assuming everyone's been to. No one's been to Dingy, no one knows where it is. It's a beautiful little town in central Victoria on a dairy farm. And I grew up, working on the farm like every other farm kid did. And my mum actually she grew trees from seed. And I remember just seeing her every day. She would actually walk down the back of the farm and she'd plant a tree. And I just asked her what she was doing. And she showed me how she grew these trees from seed. And I was really fascinated for some reason. I love the idea that you could create life and that life can create more life. And so she taught me how to grow trees from seed. And I took over what she was doing and I started planting all these trees across the farm, and I was charging mum and dad for my time and for selling the trees back to them. And I loved it, and I love this idea that I can look after the environment, and I'm integrating these two worlds of agriculture and the environment, which I think are too often seen as warring against each other. So I thought, well, how am I going to turn this into, what am I going to do with my life, I guess, in a way. And I remember asking my dad if he was going to give me the farm. And I thought, I'll be a farmer, that sounds great. And he just laughed at me straight away and said, you're not getting it. We're going to sell it, we're going to retire, so bad luck, go do something else. And that's where I thought, well, what can I do to really influence the environment and follow my vision? So I thought, government, that's what you do. You go work for government, and I managed to get a scholarship to work for the Victorian Department of Environment in Melbourne. And I worked there for 12 years in environmental policy after studying environmental science. And then forward to that time when I was writing that threatened species strategy, and I just got frustrated. And I thought, wow, I really want to make a difference. I want to do something cool. What can I do? And that's where this concept of Edge Pledge came from. But before that as well, I want to encourage this from you as well, and this idea of it's okay not to know what you want to do in life. Become an idea generator. I think ideas are the new currency of this world. If you have ideas, most of them are going to be terrible, but if you're good at coming up with ideas, one of them is going to be great that you're going to be able to follow, or you can help other people, or people come to you because they know that you're good at finding solutions. So that was sort of my thing. I made these lists of all these ideas, and Edge Pledge and Cultivate were just two of those ideas that I wanted to follow. And I can show you my list of other ideas if you guys want ideas on things to do and businesses to start. But I encourage you to think about those ideas and what you can follow. So before putting this presentation together, I just did some thinking about, well, what if I was 15, 13, at school right now, and I had this vision of I want to help the environment, what would I be doing? So I've sort of put together some thoughts around, if I were you and I wanted to follow my dreams, how would I have done things differently? So we'll go back to me following my mum around planting trees. What I would have done straight away is get on Snapchat, and I would be there in the greenhouse and saying, "G'day guys, here's Sam here, the tree grower." I don't have a really cool name, better than that one. And here I am, just putting the seed in. And over here is the seed growing in 3 weeks' time, and here it is at 4 weeks, and here's it at 6 months. And here I am out in the paddock. I'd be sharing those videos, just documenting my journey of growing these trees. I'd then be on Instagram. I'd have asked my parents' permission. I'd be there from 9 o'clock till 10 o'clock every night, just DMing all the people in the environmental sector across Australia, and I'd be saying, "Love your work, I think you're awesome," adding comments that are really valuable, adding to the conversation, and start building my profile and getting people's attention that there's this young punk trying to do some cool stuff with trees, and what is all that about, and start to get the attention of professors in the environment, and start to get the attention of those influence in the environment that I know could really, if they like what I was doing, could take me to the next level. I'd then start focusing on my business itself, and I'd think, well, if I've got this attention and I can grow trees, I'm going to start employing my mates who are going to work for me. I'm going to get contracts with these farmers. I'm going to ham up that I'm a young person making money out of these trees. I'm going to go talk to all these farmers and say, "Hey, you need to grow trees, I can do it for you. Here's the price." They'll pay me because they love the story so much. I'll then contract my mates to do it. They'll work for me while I'm there on Instagram creating more content and making money off my mates. This is just, the opportunities here are amazing. I really think I would follow that, and I'd encourage you guys to think about doing this. And all this time, over 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 10 years, I'll build a following, people would know about me, And then people will be hitting me up for interviews, no doubt, on ABC radio, on TV, on YouTube channels, podcasts. People will be asking for my opinion. And then I can start building this audience, and then I can start thinking, well, what do I really want to do with my life? What do I really want to do with this attention? Where can I take this? What bigger contracts can I get? What other ideas do I have? And the doors will be open to me, and away I go. It's really straightforward and exciting. So some practical ideas for you guys, and they're around 3 concepts around dabbling, documenting, and patience. So hopefully you've been thinking about what it is you love and what you're passionate about. And this first one is dabble. So I think it's cool and it's fine if you do not know what you want to do. Because of this ability for you to try things, to Google things, to put some videos up and see, I actually don't really like this, and you find there's something else you want to have a crack at. I think that is absolutely fine. You are so young. I'm 35 now, as I said, and I'm only just starting. I feel like I am only just starting. I'm going to be running businesses when I'm 100. You have so much time. So I want to give you that context that you guys are so young, and I encourage you to dabble. Get good at doing videos. Get good at hearing your voice coming back after listening to it on video. Get good at Snapchat. Learn all the new online social media platforms that are coming out. Get better at them. Become an expert in this content, because social media is not going away. It is going to be it is just the internet now. So learn and build your skills that way in a topic, so that when you do find that thing you really do care about, you'll be able to smash it out of the park. The second is documenting, and I mentioned this before, but you do not have to be the expert in anything. And to start creating this content, you don't have to be the expert. All you need to be doing is talking about, this is what I'm learning, this is who I've met, this is what I'm passionate about, asking questions, and just creating that content on blogs, on podcasts, on videos, whatever you're comfortable and natural doing. But just get out there and document. Don't think that you need to be the expert. In 3 or 4 or 5 years' time, you probably will be, but right now you don't have to be. And then patience. It does take time to build up an audience. I remember when I quit government, I thought I'd have Edge Pledge up and running in 6 months, and I'd be making a lot of money, and things would be great. And I now have this complete different understanding of business. It takes years to build a business, and it takes years to build an audience. So make sure you have that patience with you as well. You're not going to be an overnight success, and there never is going to be such a thing as that. But just have that mindset that you are going to be building businesses by the time you're 100. You're just learning this whole time, or you're going to be following your dreams that whole time. So just build your skills that you can apply anytime. So the steps that I think you should follow if you do really want to pursue this is pick your topic, or pick many topics and just have a crack at many. Find what you're comfortable in terms of doing in terms of creating content. Is it you're a really good writer? Is it you're really funny and you're really good on videos, or you're just really good at talking, so do videos? Or is it better just being on podcasts or audio? Or is it just photos and doing cool photos? Just figure out what you're comfortable creating content around with that topic that you care about. Start documenting your journey. Just getting used to this idea of doing a 30-second update on what you've learnt today around that topic, and sharing it. And don't be fancy. Don't try and think you need all the best equipment, the best microphones, the best phone, etc. Every phone, every computer now has the ability to record. Just click record and get it out there. I'm going to leave it there. I've got a few questions I want to ask you guys, but I just want to reiterate that it is, I'm not sure if you're grasping this, it is the best time in human history for you guys to have a crack at something. And I really encourage you to think that. Don't just think that life's about following a pathway that others have followed. You can pick a topic you care about, you pick something you care about, and you can make it happen. And it's all in your pocket right now, in the thing that you wish you were looking at right now rather than listening to me in your phone. So get cracking.
Edge Pledge.
Edge Pledge.
Edge Pledge.
Edgepledge.com.
Edge Pledge.
Edge Pledge.
Edge Pledge.
Edge Pledge.
Visit edgepledge.com.
Edge Pledge.
Edge Pledge.
Edge Pledge.
Edgepledge.com.
Edge Pledge.
Edge Pledge.
Edge Pledge.
Edge Pledge.
Visit edgepledge.com.
Edge Pledge.
Edge Pledge.
Edge Pledge.
Edgepledge.com.
Edge Pledge.
Edge Pledge.
Edge Pledge.
Edge Pledge.
Visit edgepledge.com.